Hi, I'm Marguerite De Leon, Rappler's lifestyle and entertainment editor, and welcome to Rappler Recap. Today we'll be recapping last night and last morning's Miss World Philippines 2021, which was held at the Subic Bay Exhibition and Convention Center in Zambales. So, sa mga nagpuyat with us kagabi and this morning, good morning. And sa mga hindi, well, yung context niyan is because the event lasted a little more than 6 hours. Yeah, so I don't know if that's a record, but yeah, we'll get into that a little bit. So actually, even before the 6 hour long event, this event, the Miss World Philippines 2021, it was delayed for it was postponed 5 times. So it was originally for July 11 and was meant to coincide with yung Bilipining Pilipinas pageant, pero na-postpone siya to July 25, and then it was postponed to August 8, and then it was postponed to September 19, and then at the last minute, in-announce na it was going to be aired yesterday, October 3, and yeah, and it went over to October 4 in the wee hours. Yun. So it streamed through KTX. We were able to watch it through KTX. So yun nga, even the show itself had some delays, had some technical difficulties. Parang there were lulls in the program. So for example, the event was supposed to start at 7 p.m., but there was a 1 hour lull, well, na puro commercials, and then it started finally at 8 p.m. Yeah. So in the event, there were 44 candidates who competed for 7 crowns. So the 7 crowns are Miss World Philippines, Miss Eco Philippines, Miss Eco Teen Philippines, Reina Hispano America Filipinas, it's a mouthful, Miss Multinational, Miss Philippines Tourism, and Miss Environment International. So kung napansin nyo, there, di ba, isang missing doon, yung Miss Supranational Philippines. So that was actually awarded earlier, a few months ago, to Dindy Pajares ahead of the coronation night. So she could participate sa international pageant, yung Miss Supranational, in August. So Dindy finished in the top 12 at that time. So yung pageant last night was hosted, had 4 hosts. That was RJ Ledesma, Alyssa Mulak, JB Saliba, and Zian Lim. So Zian Lim was like the main host for the program, and then si RJ Ledesma was more for the interviews, for the Q&A. And among the judges, there were quite a lot of judges, including people from the Subic Bay Authority. There was Mitos Magsaysay, but the three most memorable judges of the event last night were presidential spokesperson Harry Roque, and Senators Bong Revilla and Mig Zubiri. Yeah, so medyo heavy guts yung mga mga judges natin. And more on them a little later. So what was a little interesting, a little unique about this pageant was that all 44 contestants did both the swimsuit and the evening gown competitions. So so isa-isa talagang lahat sila. So that was also, I think, partly the reason why the event stretched so long. So for the swimsuit competition, they wore bench body two-piece suits, very tasteful. And sa evening gown, I thought it was a really nice touch dun sa evening gown competition na they also highlighted who the designer of the gowns were. So tapos while they were walking dun sa evening gown competition, the hosts talked a little bit about yung mga aspirations ng bawat candidate. And then there were actually another reason why the event stretched so long was because there were so many special awards dun sa mismong program. So these are I'm gonna list down just a few of the special awards. This is just like a fraction of what was announced last night. So there's Miss Blue Water Day Spa, Best Skin by Kathy Valencia Award, Miss Silka, Miss Pacquiao Coffee, Miss Tyrosorta, Miss Artopian International, and Miss Deity Serum Awards. So ang daming awards last night, which is kind of nice kasi like more chances of winning, I guess. And it has to be said na spoiler alert in case you didn't know, ang nanalo ng Miss World Philippines was Tracy Maureen Perez from Cebu. And going back to the special awards, Hakote, she got a lot of the special awards, including yung nga, yung binanggit ko na Miss Blue Water Day Spa, Miss Artopian International. Yeah, she got a lot of the awards that night. So another set of the special awards, which is like extra special, is yung Fast Track Challenge awardees. So yung Fast Track Challenge, sila yung, if you win that, you immediately get into the top 24. So ang interesting na nangyari dyan is the Fast Track Challenge awardees were announced nearly 3 hours na after the start of the program. After, if you count na, nag-start siya dapat at 7 p.m. Yun. Tapos, now, after the fast track, may konting dinagdag pa na winners to complete the top 24. And then, the next segment was the top 24's life story. So, parang nangyari dyan, parang siyang like warm-up Q&A. So, RJ Ledesma did a little Q&A for each contestant in the top 24. And it was an interesting segment because you really got to learn more about what these candidates do for a living, what they're really passionate about, and it's a very varied group of women. It's a very inspiring group of women because there were teachers, there were dentists, there was one HIV counselor, there was a coconut trader. She sold copra. I remember she sold copra, and there were a lot of mental health advocates. Like a lot of them wanted to talk about mental health, which was a very heartening aspect of the pageant, that it really put a spotlight on that issue, which is it's not really I mean, the past like 10 years, I'm pretty sure that mental health wasn't like a big issue when it came to what people in the pageant world were talking about. And now that more and more candidates are choosing to stand up for it, to let it be their platform, I think is very encouraging and interesting. Isa sa mga nagustuhan ng mga tao that during the top 24 was yung interview with Gainiel Krishnan. So she's a journalist kasi. So yung interviewer is RJ De Lesma, who is also a journalist. And when he interviewed Gainiel, parang he put a spotlight on her and asked her if she could pretend to be like the reporter for the event right now, right that second, and she did so well. So she reported what was going on stage like an expert, derechong Tagalog. She honestly seemed even better than the host RJ Ledesma. Yun, so parang nandito po tayo sa blah blah blah. And ang galing-galing niya. Yeah, really really interesting. And after that, the numbers were cut down to the top 16, and each person in the top 16 had a Q&A. So there were two very significant moments in that Q&A portion. One of them was when it was Harry Roque, presidential spokesperson Harry Roque's turn to ask the question. So, ang nakapili sa kanya si Shaila Rebortera of Cebu Province. And his question was, the frontrunner in all the surveys for the post of president is a woman. If she were to ask you, should she run for president even if her children are very young, what advice would you give her? So that question got a lot of flack online because a lot of people found it sexist, misogynistic, but they also found at the same time that yung sagot ni Roberta was a good comeback, so to speak, to what spokesperson Roque asked her. So she said that modern women were both brave and strong with the different choices they make. So para sa kanya, it's okay if you want to be a mother. It's okay if you want to be a president. Parang it doesn't really matter. What matters is what that woman has the opportunity to do what she wants to do. So, yun. So good comeback. And then another significant moment there was Michelle Arceo from Quezon City. She was asked by Ana Vicente, would you rather live in a world without the pandemic or without corruption? So that's a interesting question. And what here's what Michelle Arceo had to say. I would pick a world without corruption because we're surrounded by it every day and everywhere we look. So people every day suffer from it and it can affect everyday people. If we can eradicate that, we can solve so many problems and we can get through a pandemic easily the next time we go about it. So, yun, it's a good way of tying up everything together. And then a lot of like online people, what do you call this, like to point out that particular question and answer because of because of a lot of the corruption issues that are going on in the country today. So yun, it was a very real and striking moment during that competition. And then finally, after the Q&A, uh, there was Michelle D's final walk. Oh, first, Luz Vargas Tria from Facebook asks, says, too bad a candidate fell down the stage. Ayun, sobrang haba ng event without even considering the candidates were already hungry. And Roque should not be there as one of the judges. Alam mo, Luz Vargas Tria, you really echoed a lot of people's sentiments online, especially dun sa katagalan ng sa tagal ng event. A lot of people were tweeting about like naawa na sila sa mga candidates kasi parang gutom na sila. Halatang like it's not hard, it's not easy to stand for hours in those heels and in those dresses, right? So yeah, so maybe moving forward, pageant coordinators can keep those issues in mind. Yun, for the well-being of the contestants. Yun. So, yun. Finally, after the top 16 Q&A, the 2019 Miss World Philippines, si Michelle D, did her final walk. So in her parting message, yung 26-year-old beauty queen, and she's the daughter of the iconic beauty queen, Melody Marquez. She shared how she didn't think her reign would almost last for 2 years. So yeah, kasi dahil sa pandemic, walang na-crown na 2020 Miss World Philippines. So technically, Michelle D extended her reign for another year. So that's very unusual. And I think she handled the whole issue with grace and poise. Yun. So what do you call this? Ayan. Hold on. Ayan. So finally, after ayun, over 6 hours. Ayan, in-announce na kung sino yung mga winners. And as I've said earlier, Tracy Maureen Perez of Cebu City was selected for the crown out of all 44 candidates. So she will be representing the country in the international pageant, the 70th edition of Miss World sa Puerto Rico this December. Yun, so malapit na. And then for her bevy of fellow queens, there's Miss Eco Philippines, si Kathleen Paton, si Reina Hispano-Americana Filipinas, si Emmanuel Vera, Miss Tourism Philippines is Trisha Martinez. Trisha Martinez notably also got a lot of special awards that night. Then there's Miss Environment Philippines, Michelle Arceo, the one who answered the corruption pandemic question. And then Miss Multinational Philippines, si Shaila Rebortera, the one who answered Harry Roque's question. And Miss Ecoteen Philippines, si Tatiana Austria. Yun. And then runner-ups include si Rihanna Pangindian as the first princess and Gainiel Cristan, si Miss Journalist, as second princess. So yeah, so we wish all of the women here luck in their upcoming pageants. I know they'll do great because they handled last night's event with a lot of poise and a lot of grace and patience. Given na yun nga, inumaga na tayong lahat kagabi, inumaga. Ayun. So yes, uh, if you guys want to get any more recaps on Miss World, we have a lot of content in Raptor's lifestyle and entertainment section. Just search Miss World Philippines or pageants in the Rappler.com, and we have a lot of stories there for you, including in photos of the swimsuit competition, in photos of the evening gown competition, and of course, we'll have an upcoming profile on Tracy Perez. And we also even did a story on the Harry Roque incident. And we're also doing upcoming stories on how netizens reacted to last night's very, 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 very long program. Yun. So I'm glad to have all of you join me this morning for this Rappler recap. Thank you very much. I am Rappler's lifestyle and entertainment editor, Marguerite De Leon. Thank you for listening.